Now, we've been focusing on first-time voters, those who will turn 18 before November 4th. But during our research, we met an outstanding young man who says 18 is too old, and many teens are being disenfranchised by missing their right to vote. So he's leading a campaign to change the voting age in Florida. Here's more.
Jumping from level to level.
High school sophomore Jeffrey Nadell is like other students his age. He crams for a chemistry test.
What was the constant again? Sorry.
And hangs out with friends.
You have to see the design this guy did. It's amazing.
But Jeffrey has a mission that makes him stand out. He feels teens should have the right to vote at a younger age than 18.
I was interested in just civil rights in general for a long time. And eventually I started thinking about, the voting age in general and kind of how youth are not treated as equals in society. And I came across the National Youth Rights Association. And I immediately identified myself with their ideals as well, especially with regard to the voting age.
The St. Andrews school student shared his views with classmates, and they began educating themselves about the electoral process.
If someone's interested, we definitely need to tell them the facts and tell them what we think, but it's not about arguing.
The Voting Rights Act of 1965 states that any person that has completed the 6th grade in a primarily English-speaking school has the knowledge, comprehension, and understanding to vote in any election, regardless of age. So if the U.S. government considers us old enough to vote, why aren't we allowed to?
People are going to say not mature, and obviously everyone needs to know how to address that. I mean, ultimately, there will be the most educated voters because of the integration of the voters' issues into the curriculum.
Based on our research, actually, the 16 to 17-year-old demographic is going to have an exponentially higher voter turnout than the 18 to 24 or the 21 to 25. There have been a good amount of countries that have lowered their voting age to 16, Austria, Bosnia, Jersey, things like that. And also some municipalities in Germany have done it. And in each of those, the voter turnout for the younger demographic has been exponentially higher. 37.5% higher in one case for the younger demographic.
They then created a national youth rights group and began talking to their teachers and parents.
I want to make a difference.
One of the most compelling reasons we see is taxation without representation. Because youth do pay over $10 billion a year in sales tax alone, and tons of income tax as well, but they're given no representation and have no voice in decisions, and we see that as a huge problem.
He feels that getting kids to the voting booth at 16 will start them on the right path to being an important part of the community around them.
It's good to start the habit young, is one thing. And then another thing is, because voting issues are so heavily integrated into the school curriculum, because youth take classes like civics and U.S. government and things of that nature, they have very strong opinions, and at this point in time, they don't have a way to express those and have a voice in government, and this will provide them with that.
The group is very serious, and in fact, will address local congressional delegations soon.
I see all the issues now that face our country, and know that all of this is going to affect us, my generation, for so much longer than it will current voters. I mean, we have a $9.6 trillion national debt. The environment's not in the best shape, the economy is certainly not in the best shape, and all these things are going to affect us for so long, but we don't have a voice. That's kind of the emotional thing that gets me into it.
He has already spoken to local community groups and is heading up a mock election at his school.
Our goal is youth empowerment. So we look at the ways by which we can accomplish that. Lowering the voting age is the primary one that we see because it will give youth a voice and give them a say in politics. But there are also other things, like we find it important to educate students about the rights they do have. We oppose discriminatory legislation that's discriminatory to youth and things of that nature. But yeah, education is also a very important part of our mission.
He and his classmates say they won't give up and will do whatever it takes to make sure their vote makes a difference. I definitely think we'll be seeing more of that young man. In fact, on November 4th, Jeffrey and his fellow classmates will spend voting day at local polls to gain support for their cause. That's our special report for tonight, but please log on to our website, that's wxel.org, for more information on voting and for a direct link to the League of Women Voters website, which is a goldmine of nonpartisan information. And join us again right here on Wednesday, October 22nd for a live special on this very same topic. We'll be joined by experts and find out more about Election 2008 and the power of the youth vote. But no matter who you may support, do take time to make a difference by voting in this year's election. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, have a great evening.